We really need to get this meeting started if we're going to get through everything today.
She'll be here. She's just running a little late. Things take longer when you're dealing with little kids.
You know, come on, Mom. She's been perpetually late since she learned how to drive. I mean, this has absolutely nothing to do with her kids. They're probably sitting out in the car waiting for her to get ready.
Be nice. Be nice.
I don't have to. She's my sister.
Sorry I'm late. There's no excuse.
No kidding.
I'm just late. Okay?
Got it.
Okay. I won't make anything up. Hi.
Good to see you. You know, I'm glad you don't have to make anything up. You know, I mean, I don't have to shoot holes in all of your excuses as usual.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Thanks.
absolutely. I get so totally mentally exhausted with all that, you know? Hey, I've got a pop. You guys want a pop?
I'd love one.
And check out this bag, you guys. I got this bag at the conference.
Yeah.
It is, you know, did you get
Nice,
one?
nice.
Yeah, these were made by the orphans and the ladies in Africa who are HIV positive. It's such a great cause. It is so cool. Isn't it awesome?
Pretty. Did you get me one?
No, are you kidding? Get you one, right? Go get your own.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, ladies, can we have a seat and get this meeting started? We have several issues to tackle and a few grants to look at. I thought we'd start on the business end and work our way through.
Well, we're all set.
Okay, first let's welcome Jeff to his first Jordan Family Foundation meeting. Originally, we weren't going to have spouses on the board, but it just makes sense. As an attorney, we brought him along on the board, along with you girls. I think that will be very helpful as we try to navigate through some of the regulations on the board.
So we first have a procedural issue of how is it that you have board members join? Is it as simple as changing the bylaws? Is it something already provided? Does there need to be a resolution? Has the family even talked about having spouses on the board? I work with a family foundation that there are 50 board members, and half of those board members are spouses. And then there's this issue of, you know, what happens if there's a divorce? All of these kind of tricky things. So procedurally, there needs to be some recognition that, yes, we're accepting another board member on. It means that we need to amend our bylaws, or pursuant to the bylaws, we're going to sign a resolution that says, yes, this is what we want to do. Having the roles and responsibilities clearly defined is very important, but there is no reason why Jeff can't act as an attorney for the foundation, and he can get paid for that legal service. The IRS allows for an exception for compensation for personal services, and included in personal services is legal work. Interestingly, IT is not included. So if you have a nephew or someone that you want to pay and be on the board who can set up your computer, that's not included as personal services. So
It's good to be here.
I married well.
Was that a shot?
Oh, no. You married well, too. Come on. As soon as we need a musician on the board, we'll call your husband.
Oh, that reminds me. I brought our plane ticket receipts for the trip. I got a pretty good price for the 4 of us. Do you want me to turn it in now, or with everything else? I had to get a babysitter or two to watch the kids while I'm at the meeting, but I won't know how much that will be until we're all done.
okay, there are a couple of rules that apply to family foundations, and it affects any transactions that the foundation gets into. One of the rule, and this is usually by state law, it's a duty of loyalty. And that means that every foundation manager or director has a duty to be loyal to the foundation over and above his or her own interests. And then there are the IRS rules regarding self-dealing. And self-dealing, I'm just going to read that just so we can be clear on it. The use of any foundation assets to enter into any financial transaction between the foundation and a disqualified person. And it doesn't matter that in the end, it's going to be to the benefit of the foundation. It still is going to be considered self-dealing. So the question is, if your boss said, we're having an employee retreat, and we need you to be there, and you said to your boss, I'll come if you'll pay for my babysitter, probably wouldn't fly. Right? So in this case, that's probably not going to fly as well.
I like having the meeting out of town. It lets you sneak in a vacation with the work side. Hey, let's do the February meeting in Florida. You know, it's really great to get a break from these Michigan winters.
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Right, so there we have the travel. But is it necessary to have a family foundation meeting in Florida? It could be if the grantees are there and they're going to use that time to visit grantees, but just to go to Florida, probably not. Again, the issue is one of reasonableness. Is it reasonable for this family foundation to go to Florida for a meeting? They can set this up so that these are administrative expenses, and they can have a policy around travel. They can put some caps. Or another way to kind of think about this is if they are not already getting compensation and they want to travel to Florida, the expense of going to Florida can be considered income to the board members, okay? And it would have to be put on the 990 PF as such. You have to think a lot of families are, depending on when the foundation was set up and what generation they're in, many of the family members are all over the country. So in many cases, family members, someone's going to have to travel. You're not going to be able to have the meeting without some travel being involved. There's also the opportunity to do a webcast or a telecommunication. I know some families do that as well to try to keep expenses down. Something also that you need to think about is, in this day and age, everyone is looking at administrative costs. People are going to GuideStar and looking at, okay, what is this foundation using? How are they spending their money? So it's also something to think about, that you're in a much more public place than you were maybe years ago.
We can consider that. You just hand in all the expenses at once. You focus on the meeting rather than your tan. Now, back to the agenda, please. The foundation made a donation to the symphony. We're at the Golden Conductor's Baton level, and they sent us some tickets to the Symphony Charity Ball. Your mom and I can't go. Does anyone want these? It's next Saturday.
And this is something that comes up a lot, and you get lots of, sometimes you're not sure. I have this thing, and then Halloween is coming up, so I may get like, you know, an old Vincent Price kind of voice to do this. But think about this when you're considering how to spend the foundation's assets. Just play this tape in your head. It's not my money anymore. And just keep repeating that. Or it's not grandpa's money anymore, or whoever it was who set up the foundation. And when you think that way, then yes, no, you cannot get any economic benefit from using foundation assets. One, it's from a legal standpoint and also from an ethical standpoint too, and especially when you're working with grantees, and that's a whole other issue, sort of making sure that you maintain balance of power between the grantees and the foundation. But from a legal standpoint, you can't have any benefit. And where this comes up a lot, and it's going to come up more just considering the economic climate, is when there is a possibility that you can pay a certain amount and either your foundation can match it, or there is some other level of benefit that you can get that may not necessarily be, say, a dinner. It may be you get better seats at the symphony or the opera, or it may be that you can get a parking space that's closer to, you know, the entrance to the ballpark where your alma mater, things like that. But in any case, even if you're bifurcating the ticket costs $500, the benefit is $100, you pay that out of pocket, you have the foundation pay the balance, not okay. Because but for the foundation paying its portion, you wouldn't be able to take advantage of that. This is how you remedy that. Let's say, for instance, that the only way that you can make a contribution to an organization that you want to support is through their annual gala. And they will have, you know, you make a contribution of $20,000, they give you 10 tickets. A couple of things you can do. Give the money back, or give the tickets back, or give the tickets to another nonprofit, or you could give the tickets to another funder that might be interested in finding out more about the organization.